Welcome to Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton area high school football here on WYLN. Brought to you as always by the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton. We'll be joined this week by Coach Buchman and a special guest from the Cougar football team. We look back at Friday night's tough victory over Wilkes-Barre area, and we look ahead to another road contest at West Scranton. That's all this week on Sports Talk.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Welcome back to Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton area high school football here on WYLN. Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined as always by Hazleton area head football coach Dennis Buchman. And Coach, your team stayed undefeated with a hard-fought 20-7 victory over Wilkes-Barre area, and I know I've been touting the defense, but let's start offense. And from reading the accounts that Steve Stallone wrote in the Standard Speaker, to me, what I took away from it is, you know, you guys have been quick strike the first 3 games of the year, putting up a lot of points, but what it showed was that your team can also be patient, where sometimes some high-powered teams, and we can even go to the professional level, they won't stay patient, whether in the play calling or the players on the field. But from what I indicated or got from the reading the paper was that your team stayed patient and were willing to take the long, drawn-out drives.
Sure. I mean, on Friday night, we only had 5 true possessions offensively throughout the night. Our first drive was 17 plays and took a little bit over 10 minutes, so almost the entire first quarter. Right. On that first series scoring drive there. Then Wilkes-Barre came back. They had their own 12-play, 7.5-minute drive. So you look right there, that's almost 18 minutes of gameplay. So for us to be able to stay within ourselves, be able to consistently move the chains. We put the game in our linemen's hands, so to speak, at times during the night. We were really efficient. It's funny sometimes because, as you said, we've scored so quickly lately. You look at the stats and you see we still had 335 yards of total offense, threw for over 150, had over 180 yards team rushing. You look at those numbers and it's a solid performance. But at the same time, we made sure that we were able to keep their offense off the field at times as well. So we'll talk about our defense, I'm sure, quite a bit. But offensively, we stay within ourselves throughout Friday night, and we're pretty successful. And
before we get to that defense, the last drive that made it a 2-score game, and then defense holds, and then you ran out the clock. That's an indication right there of putting it on your line and saying this is your game.
Absolutely, we answered. You know, the mark I think of a great team is to be able to answer scoring drives first of all, and playing complementary football in all three phases. And certainly, then after we got a stop when we were up 2 scores, to be able to then run out the clock. We were inside the 10-yard line as time expired, but we had the ball for that last 4:45 after we got that stop. So really, really incredible performance by our guys overall, but especially those guys up front.
And then the group that I really like on your team, and you always say it, Friday night, the defense traveled.
Defense has to travel. Defense has to be able to travel on the road when you're like we are thus far, and you've played 3 of your first 4 on the road. We're going once again on the road to West Scranton, playing 4 of our first 5. If you count our scrimmage, it'd be 5 of the first 6 contests together. Defense has to travel. We limited Mekhi Nelson, who I think is a phenomenal football player, who had back-to-back 200-yard games. We limited him to 93 yards on 23 carries. We held them to under 200 total yards of offense and only 7 points. So they scored 1 time out of their 6 drives. So tremendous performance by so many and collectively as a group. And like I said, it was true complementary football throughout. We did a great job in the special teams game as well, being able to cover kicks. Our punt cover team flipped the field a few times for us. Returners were able to secure the football, lock it away, get us in plus field position at times. So it was a true collective effort, and something you need when you go on the road and you play a quality opponent like Wilkes-Barre area.
And you brought up a good point that I didn't mention last week, your special teams setting your offense up so often in great field position, because either your return game is very successful, or as we saw against North Pocono, they don't want to kick deep. So that's going to give you an opportunity to have a drive that maybe only takes 60 yards.
Absolutely. And, you know, especially our punt return game has been really, really good. And it's not always because we're fielding punts and we're getting plus 30 in the return game. It's as simple as, and something, you know, some people take for granted, we're catching a punt, we're locking it away, and even if we're getting plus 12 to 15, we're saving potentially another minus 20 by being able to field the punt, not letting the ball hit the turf, and be able to get a disadvantageous bounce.
If there's anything that Coach DeMelfi can't stand is letting a punt bounce. So I know he was very happy when he saw your team catching punts the other night. So that's good.
That's
Let's
awesome.
get to the highlights, and we'll start with number 4, Matthew Casadas here in the passing game.
Absolutely here. We look at our first drive. Matthew Casadas does a great job on an in-breaking route. Tremendous throw by Tyler Wolf. Great protection up front.
And here we get Matthew Casadas again.
We got him involved early. We wanted to get our core skill guys involved early in this football game. Matthew Casadas, Matthew Buchman, Connor Shimani, Ryan Mattias, Connor Kundrat. And as you see here, Matthew Casadas taking a jet for a first down.
And here Connor Shimani in the passing game.
Great job here by Tyler to stay in the pocket. Connor Shimani, he's so physically gifted here, so strong when the ball's in his hands. Great job on the dig route for a first down.
And here Matthew Buchman with a touchdown catch, and we'll look at it twice.
Great job here by Tyler Wolf. First of all, Matthew Buchman is his check down on this concept here. Great job of being able to get his eyes downfield first. Matthew Buchman does a great job getting depth and width on the swing, and then is able to beat the defender to the corner here, getting skinny and keeping his front shoulder in the end zone.
Next play is, once again, Matthew Buchman in the passing game.
You know, we have here off the fake jet now, we were able to get some movement by Wilkes-Barre, and we knew that we had this. We were able to cross the face of the inside linebacker here and get in front of the safety, and a great job, great throw, great catch.
And let's go back to number 4 in the passing game.
Like we said, we wanted to, you know, we knew we were traveling here, playing Wilkes-Barre. We wanted to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers.
And just as he did a week before, Connor Kundrat finds the end zone, and we'll look at it twice.
Excellent job here by Connor Kundrat to be able to get north now. Matthew Buchman, he draws so much attention here. You see the displacement by the inside linebackers. Great job up front in a gap run here. And as I said, Connor Kundrat, who has a nose for the end zone, scores a touchdown.
And one of Coach's favorite plays, Team D.
Team defense here. So we scored, they scored, we answered once again, and now we really started to ramp up the intensity defensively here. Great team defensive play for us.
And a young man that's really coming on week after week. You see him more and more in the highlights, Xander Coleman.
He's so big, he's long, he's physical, he's continuing to get better and better.
Interception here for Kayvon Minor.
Kayvon Minor, what a play here by Kayvon to be able to be that mid-dropper that he is in this particular coverage. Gets the ball out in front and is able to then work north to put us in great field position.
Here's Connor Shamani.
Great job on the edge once again here, moving the sticks for us. Great throw, being able to be middle out on the hitch as well.
Here we got Poro and Coleman.
Excellent job here. Ryan Matthews being able to turn the ball back in as well, bottling up Nelson, who's such a gifted player.
President Matthews.
Absolutely, Ryan Matthews here. Great blocking as well by Matthew Buchman, Connor Kundrat at the running back positions. Excellent job up front too.
And here Matthew Buchman with the run.
Well, we once again get some displacement inside. Tremendous job by our guys up front. And Matthew Buchman, when he starts working downhill and gets his shoulders and pad level right, he's really tough to bring down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team D.
Absolutely, you see a lot of white hats here travel to the ball. It's the mark, and what we feel in our program makes our defense successful.
And here's Big John.
Absolutely, you get Ryan Matthews to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. We have Big John Valdez, being able to make the play then for a huge sack.
Stop on 4th down on the sneak.
Here we go, 4th and 1. We had to have this stop at this point. We're up 14-7. Huge play for us. Here, we have the ball at the 15-yard line, and then we go 85 yards now and score a touchdown to put this game away.
Start with Matthew Buchman.
Absolutely. Put the ball in number 1's hands, told number 10, who's one of the best fullbacks, I think, in our league, to make sure that we're getting plus yards.
Go from 1 to 4.
Absolutely. Makasatis here does a great job getting in the window. Tyler Wolf gets his front shoulder down. Great pitch and catch.
And now number 6.
Absolutely. Being able to mix and match and move the ball around the field here. Great job, and the patience by Connor Shamani really sets this up, allowing his linemen to be able to work in front of him.
And then when your attention's on all the skilled players, get a scramble and run from your quarterback.
So we have Tyler Wolf here, who has his eyes downfield this entire time, which I love too. Doesn't want to force the ball because understands the down and distance and the situation, and is able to work then and be able to set us up for a great 3rd and 8 here, as we see now.
Matthew Buchman.
Absolutely. We called a timeout before this play, and we looked in each other's eyes here, and we said, this is the first down to be able to put this football game away.
And the touchdown that put it away, Xander Coleman, we look at it twice.
What a luxury it is to have somebody like Xander, especially in the tight red zone here. So many eyes, once again, we're on number 1, and being able to pull this is a true design read here. Tyler does a great job with his eyes and his shoulder intentions. And then you have Xander, who's finishing the play at the end to be able to put this game away.
We saw him score a touchdown offensively here, a defensive pass breakup for Connor Kundrat.
Absolutely. Connor Kundrat here. I think everybody in the stadium knew at this point they wanted to get the ball to number 3, Wilkes-Barre. Great job by Xander Coleman, Kayvon Minor, and Connor Kundrat on that play.
And another 4th down stop for your D.
You see Xander being able to get into the window now with his front hip open. Connor Shamani breaks on the football as well. Great job by our defense.
And our last highlight, Matthew Buchman here with a run.
And this is when we're now salting the game away, so to speak here. A big first down for us once again on 3rd down to be able to then run out the clock and be able to preserve a hard-fought 20-7 win on the road.
Now, Coach, you mentioned it in the highlight package. You had a 3rd and 8, and you got a big run from Matthew Buchman, but you could see the defense, because you're so talented out wide, expect, all right, down in distance, they're going to throw the football, and you run, get a big hole, and Matthew got a big chunk of yards, including the first down. But talk about how, it's almost like the baseball term, pitching backwards. We're calling plays backwards, where maybe running downs, you're passing downs, you're running the football.
Yeah, I feel we do such a great job each week in our game plan as coaches and players, and being able to pick out certain tendencies of teams and trying to keep teams off balance. And it is certainly a luxury for us that we have guys who we feel are really good players in so many positions, and we continue to develop those guys in multiple positions. And I feel that's what makes teams really hard to defend when and you don't know where someone's going to be on any particular play, and you truly can't get a beat on what we're doing offensively. So it's a credit to our coaches, a credit to our players for buying in and executing what we're doing, and certainly then you get the success as we had on Friday night. I just told our players tonight, you look at last year's regular season when we went 5-0, only the second time in program history, and right now we're 3-0 on the road once again. So last year 5-0 in the regular season on the road, this year undefeated on the road thus far, in some really tough places to play. Once again, no easy feat this Friday night against West Scranton, but what a commitment, what a buy-in from our entire program. It is not easy to win football games anywhere, especially on the road.
Right. And I know you're looking forward to that home stretch where maybe you could put this away and get yourself cemented at a home playoff game.
Absolutely, but as we talk about too, with our schedule, there's no easy home games this year either. We play some of the top teams, not only in our conference, not only in the district, but some state-ranked teams that come to Harmon Geist this year as well. So our schedule is going to make us better, and that's the big thing. I feel if you want to be an elite program, then you have to play other elite programs, and that's the only way you're going to get better. And certainly our schedule is going to allow us to do that this year.
Now, Coach, we're getting ready to bring our guest on, and unfortunately we didn't bring any plums for him, but we are going to go and take a look that everybody's keeping an eye on the film. Number 1, Matthew Buchman, next.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
2 Italian Guys Pizzeria, 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
The Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton presents Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton area high school football here on WYLN. I'm Marty Burns, and as promised, we have number one, Matthew Buchman, joining us. And Matthew, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
A veteran of the show. Glad to have you back.
Feels good.
One of the things I've noticed in the highlights and seeing you guys in person one week, your balance really seems phenomenal at this point. You're not getting brought down by the first and a lot of times second and third guy is not bringing you down. Is there something that you worked on? Because like I said, I think your balance is tremendous this year.
Thank you. I mean the whole off season, as soon as last year ended, go right back in the weight room. Was able to put on 10, 15 pounds of pure muscle. Also worked on my speed a lot, so that obviously helps out with the first guy trying to bring me down, being physically stronger. And I've started just realizing sometimes instead of trying to look for like a juke move out, just have to lower your shoulder, and that's delivering that contact to the first guy is going to get him off balance and allow me to use my speed and acceleration to get away from him.
And we saw it in the one highlight, yourself and President Matthews flanked Tyler Wolf. One play they gave it to Matthews, you were the lead blocker. Next play we saw, you got the ball, Matthews was the lead blocker. Talk about how you guys are almost interchangeable in that backfield.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what play is called. I could run his position, he could run my position. We both block for each other tremendously. We both understand, listen, if I get the ball this play, I'm going to block for you. We know to trust him. He's going to trust me when he gets to the outside, coming through the hole. And he's just as good of a runner I am. He's physically tough, he's fast, he's strong, he's smart, has great vision, so he's able to read the same ways I'm able to read. So we're able to connect and see, okay, when he's lead blocking, I have a feeling he's going to pick this guy up instead of him, so I could trust him to follow it out, and it ends up working out.
And I think one of the great assets of your game that really makes you dangerous is your ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. And we saw it on the one play, you just went flying down the middle of the field, but you're lined up on the same side as Casadas and Shimani, and it's forcing a defense. We got to figure out who we're gonna cover here, and maybe who we're gonna leave one-on-one. So talk about that aspect of your game and how it helps this football team.
Yeah, I mean, splitting me out a receiver obviously helps out the team, but because we have Shimani and Casadas who are drawing that dominant attention at receiver. They're the dominant receivers. They're going to be locked onto them to look for Casadas running deep or having some quick shifty out route, and Shimani with his big body able to catch jump balls, and then sometimes that leaves me kind of like shadowed. So I'm able to, they're going to think, all right, we're going to put a one-on-one with him, and then I'm able to have a one-on-one. And like against in the Wilkes-Barre in the highlights, I was able to cross his face and get open. But it just does the same thing. Sometimes certain teams will be like, all right, let's watch out for number one this time. That leaves Shimani and Casadas, right. Ryan Matthews, Kundra, anybody who's out there with me open.
And the group that I really find impressive this year is your defense. A lot of the same guys that play offense play defense, but that's secondary. You guys have been together a long time. I remember you guys getting a lot of time when you were freshmen. But talk about knowing each other, you know where everybody's going to be, and then the confidence that you can have in Connor and Matthew on each corner, where maybe you can be a little more aggressive in the short passing game or in the running game to come up and make a play.
Yeah, I mean, since freshman and especially sophomore year, we all started, we've been playing together for 4 years, the same positions, every day at practice, battling out together, going up against each other to make each other better. I'll cover Shimani, Casadas, so I'll have to cover me. And then on defense, I know they're phenomenal corners. They're going to be able to cover one-on-one matchups. So if there's only two receivers, that allows me to be a little more lenient with the pass and help out in the run more, and allows me to pick up the short routes because I know with Casadas' speed and Shimani's physicality, no one's going to run by them. They're going to be able to match up with anybody phenomenally, so I'm able to help out more underneath routes inside and obviously help out with the run.
And one of the things that I was really impressed with, maybe a total team play, was Ryan Matthews' I believe first touchdown last week against North Pocono, when he caught the ball, eluded the one defender. Now the line is caught back, they're in pass protection, so on and so forth. But it just seemed like once he got by that defender, all you see is these red jerseys down the line finding somebody to block, and he went in clean.
Oh, of course. I mean, the whole team is very selfless. You understand, it doesn't matter who gets the ball at the end of the day. Our main goal is to win. So as soon as Ryan caught the ball and we all see, oh, there's two people that could possibly tackle him, let's all work as hard as we can to get up in front of him to allow him to get the touchdown early in the game.
And as a senior, we asked Ryan last week, that final home opener as a senior, what was that atmosphere like for you?
It was incredible. You know, the emotions coming through, like this is the first game at the stadium ever going to have. But it was great to get a win. We had a beautiful crowd out there. A lot of people came out for a very nice cause and everything. And it was great to get a win, a dominant performance, share the ball to everybody. And it was a little, after the game, you had some little emotions coming out, but for the most part, it was just an awesome experience.
Well, continued success with your 4 remaining home games after this week, and good senior year for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll be back to talk about West Scranton right after this.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
Memberships are available at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. The new upgrades will leave you with a distinctive and unique experience unlike any other venue in Northeast PA. Call Frank Gradis 570-233-5328. Email vccpro@thevalleycountryclub.com.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill and Brandon Vicante from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton Mazda. Where's all your cars?
Don't wait any longer. Come down and reserve yours today because they're sold before they hit the ground.
Or you can do like these people did. You can order one with your color and options that you prefer.
Or reserve one of our new incoming Mazdas.
So if you're in the market for a new Mazda, come on down to Blaze Alexander. See Adriel or Brandon. Place your order or reserve your new Mazda today.
Proud sponsor of Penn State Athletics.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Coach Buchman returns for the final 2.5, and Coach, your final road game in this stretch of 4 out of 5, going to West Scranton. What have you seen from this Invader team that concerns you?
Well, certainly it starts with the quarterback position. They have a quarterback that can make all the throws for them. He's physically gifted as well, 6'2", 200 pounds. A new coaching staff, a lot of energy with that staff. They have a player in Laybourne Bodie that he had a 90-yard kickoff return against Dallas. That was a 21-7 game at halftime. So certainly they were able to have some success against a great Dallas team and stay in the football game. And just the way that they consistently pursue to the football defensively, and the way that they continue to battle throughout an entire football game. We know the challenge of going to Scranton Memorial Stadium, a very unique place to play. We talked about that today in our meeting. So certainly they have that going for them as well. And just a really dangerous team who's playing with truly nothing to lose here. Certainly is going to have us, and we talked about this as well today, that the opponent doesn't affect how we prepare. We're going to prepare every single week because, as we talk about, it's about us getting better, and we have to continue to get better, and we have an opportunity to close out this first half and in game number 5 being 5-0, but we can't get to 5-0 without winning this football game on Friday.
Well, Coach, best of luck. Hoping you get to that 5-0 mark.
Thank you so much. Go Cougars.
Go Cougars.
You know, it's the halfway point. These guys are in postseason form, ladies and gentlemen. So, for Matthew Buchman, head coach Dennis Buchman, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Join us next week as we go over to the West Scranton game, have another guest from the Cougar football team, and the Cougars will be back home. This time they'll be hosting Dallas. We'll talk about it next week on Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.